Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 500 grand per year profit consulting business right in front of your eyes. I'm currently in the airport today because I am traveling, so bear with me, people. But this is a daily update series that always follows the exact same structure. I always start by answering some questions, meaning that if you have any questions about your business, your content, your positioning, your offers, or whatever it might be, you can ask your questions down below and then I'll answer your questions in tomorrow's video. Then I run you through some business stats, which is basically just me filling out this sheet every single day that tracks all the growth inside of my business when it comes to money made, but also my social channels so I can see if there's a correlation. And then people, I run you through some strategy, meaning that I will talk in public about how I'm brainstorming the initiatives and thoughts and ideas that I have in order to get my business to 2 million a year. I've done it once before, my first coaching business, but I only did it with low profit, 14 team members and a business partner. And now I'm doing it vastly different. So welcome, people. This is the channel you're currently watching, my daily update. So I always head into the community and then I find a comment that I haven't interacted with. So you can see yesterday I answered Jeremy's question and today Lenny here has a question. So let's see. He says, yo, I hope you're fine. Likewise, brother. Imagine you had a full-time job and normal life stuff to take care of while trying to build a business through social media. How many pieces of content would you try to upload on a weekly basis? You can separate between Instagram and YouTube, and you can separate between long, short form, image, carousels, etc. And as I've understood here in this video, you would focus on main YouTube channel and main Instagram channel at first before doing anything else like daily updates or whatever, right? Great question, brother. So first of all, if I had a full-time job and normal stuff to attend and like basically just like living, right, I would automatically assume that I would start a business as a side hustle to, as soon as possible, replace my full-time income so that I could spend all my hours that are more leveraged in the business and then scale. So in your case, Lenny, I wouldn't even think about creating content, which is a little bit of a paradox to your question and everything else that I talk about. But I would really wake up every single day, and for the first 2 to 3 hours before you go to work, I would only work on activities that could get you clients, cash flow, and money short-term into your business so that you get 2 to 3 good clients where you're heavily done for you in the work and you learn as much as possible, you get as much data as possible, you get as much feedback as possible, you get better at your service, you do everything that you can, brother, to establish yourself, right? And then like that's what you do the first few hours of the day, is to spend those hours to get cash flow, clients, and like secure yourself short-term. To build cash reserves, to build good peace of mind so that you can maybe drop down in hours in your main work or even replace your income. If you want to create content, so after you've done the short-term activities, you've done the cold calls, the outbound, the network, you've reached out to people, you've done everything that you can in order to every single day move the needle short-term, then you can create content. And if I were you, Lenny, it's like, let's say that you, for your sales agency here, that I remember that you talked about, if you then are acquiring clients through cold calls, then your content should be you recording your cold calls for 2 hours straight and then taking the best highlights and the best moments from your cold calls and then just upload that as content. So make sure that it's the things that you do that becomes the content, because everything in content, and like the reasons why you people here on this channel, and you, Lenny, in particular in this case, ask me questions, it's because you believe that my opinion holds value. And the only reason for my opinion having some value is because of the businesses that I've built and the businesses that I run myself, and then you give my advice value. If I hadn't done anything, no one would watch this channel. And that's just a brutal game of content, right, people? It's that we listen to people that are worth listening to. So if Lenny can go out there and build his thing from the ground up and show he's good at cold calling and show himself, people will listen, and that's the best content ever. But take care of your short-term things first, brother, and then everything else great will come. Then we have a next question here from Espen. He says, hey Fred, thanks for the answer about our brand universe. We actually ended up re-recording ads in VSL and we're much more happy with it now. That sounds great. I will come back with a question regarding that, but this is a completely different question. My question is about follower ads. We run them for all of our partner clients, and every time we increase spend, the cost per followers goes up. Is that normal? I'll get into the examples. I'll give you, usually when you increase cold traffic, it's a little bit fluffy because it usually depends on how much you're increasing spend from. If you're increasing spend from, let's say, $200 a day to $400, you would definitely be able to see it. But there are many things that play a factor here, brother. It's how many ad creatives you're running. It's the audience size. It is also how broad the ad creative in itself is. If it's very bottom of funnel case study, for example, very niched, the lead price will typically be more expensive, but it is also a better quality lead. versus if you run a more lifestyle ad, you'll get a lot of people in. So sometimes I think cost per follow is very misleading based on the experience and the cases that I'm sitting on. But let's see the examples here and then we can be more specific, okay? 2 client examples. We have a UK, let me just fix here, people. There we go, the screen is recording again. So 2 client examples. We have a UK business mentor where we just increased from £20 a day to £40 a day, and cost per follow went up immediately, like almost same amount of followers for 2 times the spend. The other is a dating coach, went from £22 a day to £40 a day, and the same thing happened. Okay, we switch the ads once in a while when they have fatigued a bit with new ones. Here, boys, I would be more specific and clear on when you switch ads. Fatigued a bit is very, very fluffy, and I would set some rules for frequency, or if your cost per follower has dropped over a certain period of time or a certain amount of spend with like X amount of percentages. Because then it will be a lot easier at scale to manage your clients, but it'll also be a lot easier for you to take decisions and so that you don't stress about ad spend that much. If I were you boys, I would pay heavily attention to cost per acquisition, meetings booked, etc. Because I think right now you're looking a little bit too narrow on the fact that cost per follow. But I would say that there are definitely concerns here, the fact that you double spend, but then instantly your follower and lead price doubles, okay? But let's see here. They're still both healthy businesses. Dating Coach has a 3.7x total ROAS and Business Mentor has 9.2x total ROAS, both front end. That's very healthy, good job. I don't know your commission structure for salespeople or overall cost of businesses, but it sounds healthy from what you're writing here. But it keeps dropping, as we can't keep the same lead price whenever we increase spend to push for more sales. I assume that you have experience with this, so I would love to hear your take. Oh, I remember to say this. We run all ads in the same campaign and only 1 ad in each ad sets. Yes, I hear you. First of all, boys, maybe you have, since you're running 1 campaign, you might have the Advantage Plus feature toggled on, meaning that it's campaign budget optimization, meaning that even though it's 2 different ad sets, because it's the same campaign, then Meta will automatically just add all spend to the fatigued ad because it thinks that it's the winner, because you're optimizing for followers, but you get profile visits, and that's why this funnel is a little bit holistic in both a good and a bad way, right? But here, boys, so I would make sure to look at where is Meta spending the increase in ads. Do you make sure that the new creatives that you're running are actually getting spent? Then, boys, I'll check your audience size. Maybe you should broaden the audience a little bit. Look at frequency there in terms of look at the frequency in the last 30 days compared to the audience size, like how many times have your ad in top of funnel been shown to new people? You might want to broaden up your audience size there, but I think it's probably just because your campaign is spending on the same fatigued ad. So yeah, boys, try to cover through those things, and then I think you should be good to go, to be fair. And yeah, pay attention to all numbers. Look at the business from a helicopter perspective instead of only focusing on cost per follower. That would be my advice. So hopefully you can use it, boys. A little bit broad, but I'm missing a lot of context. But I think with all of the things that I said, that you should find the correct answer within. So take what's useful and leave the rest. Great stuff. Next question here. Tyrone says, "Hey Fred, thank you so much for this series. I've watched almost every episode and it's helped me tremendously. I'm really happy to hear, man. I had a couple quick questions. First, you mentioned you post a YouTube video every 5 days. Is this because of something algorithmic, like this being the ideal amount of volume for long form, or is it just the pace that makes sense for you and Toby?" Great question. 2 things here. First, it was the pace that made the most sense for me and Toby. We started with 1 per week, and then we became comfortable there and realized we can keep this schedule up. So let's try to either, right, we improve the 1 video per week so much in quality and then nail that, and then we add volume. But in this case, I looked at the quality of the videos and I was happy about them. So I was like, I want to increase volume. So we went to every 5 days. And now the goal is actually every 2 days. So it's to upload every Sunday and Wednesday. This week, Toby traveled Sunday, so the video came up Monday and then probably Thursday tomorrow. But I want to do 2 YouTube videos a week. From pure experience on main channel, bigger project videos, anything after 2 videos a week has diminishing returns, and I could spend my time better elsewhere. For example, the daily updates channel here gives me a lot of leverage and makes me connect with my audience in another way. So that's why I'm doing it, and a great question. Second, is there any reason you aren't posting your short form content to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook as well? It seems like it'd be very easy with a scheduler to do this. Not sure if maybe short form content on YouTube waters down your audience. Great question, man. I have thought about it, and I'll give you my thoughts. The screen recording is paused. Let me fix. There we go. So first of all, for YouTube, I could be posting my videos on YouTube Shorts, but I think I would attract the wrong people. It might be a bad assumption that I have, but people that scroll YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Facebook Watch might not be my ideal audience. So I would rather have some great long-form subscribers rather than many from YouTube Shorts, if that makes sense. So that's why I want to protect my main YouTube channel there. For Instagram, we already publish an Instagram reel every single day, and then 5 trial reels that attracts new people in, which is good. TikTok, I don't like the audience on TikTok. I don't scroll on TikTok myself, so that's a reason for it there, and it's just not priority. So that's why. And then Facebook Watch, I would say on paper, it's like you already have the content, it's good leverage, you should just do it. But these are my thoughts to why I'm not doing it. But yeah, it also depends on your audience and what you're selling. I think my audience is very sophisticated, and it doesn't make sense for me. If I had a helping women get in shape, I would definitely just post, like, let's say, more on Facebook, because like elderly, middle-aged women are more on Facebook, for example. So it's also about audience and the people you want to work with. But a great question, man, and thanks so much for the series. I've been enjoying it. I appreciate it, Tyrone. I'm wishing you all the best with your business. Let's take one last question here from MTB Art. Hello Fred, I've been following you for a while now, and I had a question about niche exclusivity as I grow. If 2 businesses sell a very similar offer to basically the same audience, would you ever work with both? Or do you think it makes more sense to stay exclusive to one client in that space, avoid creating unnecessary competition, and use everything you learn about the market to help them capture as much of it as possible? Which option do you think makes more sense long term? Becoming very specialized in one niche across several clients, or staying exclusive to fewer clients across different niches? This is a great question. I love this question. It's a really good question. I'll give you the example probably just from what I'm doing in my own 2 businesses. So digital coffee shop, right? It's my own consulting business where I sell my hours and act as an advisor for my clients. They get access to my world, my tools, my trainings. They get access to me on a group level or one-to-one level, and I work as a consultant, right? I give them my time and thoughts on their unique business and how I'm doing things with real-time learnings. So there, I work with a larger group of people. I work with 30 clients at the moment, and a bunch of the clients have similarities, but they're also very different because they're like me. They sell their time and uniqueness in a sense. Of course, they have like their services around the same. Some are like media buyers, some are external or like fractional CMOs, I'd rather call them. Some people are in sales or in mindset. So there are some similarities to their businesses, but because I'm consulting and my fee is, in my opinion, not on the lower end, don't get me wrong here, people, but it's not like I'm charging 10 grand a month, right? It's that I'm charging in between 1,500 and 3.5K. So it's not like if I only had to work with one person in every niche, I would not be able to reach my business goals, and it wouldn't make sense, like completely like financially engineering and the relationship that I'm having with the person, right? Because I'm only a consultant at the end of the day. So I would look at market size first of all in terms of like, is there room for these people? All of my clients have a very similar business to mine, meaning that they have a very high profit. They run the same menu card as I would, like premium, medium tier, lower tier, these kind of things. So it doesn't hurt their business at all that there are other people in their industry. You could argue that in a country like Denmark with, let's say, 6 million people, and if I had 10 clients that sold the exact same thing to the exact same audience, there could be some conflict of interest there. But I wouldn't say so. I have never experienced it because the market is so big, right? So as a consultant selling hours and like having a more one-to-many relationship with like more clients but like lower payments, it doesn't make sense to have niche exclusivity. I of course look at every single client that I have, and if I have a person coming in that is like one-to-one the exact same, it like the thought hits my mind, but but it is a very limiting belief in terms of like how big the market is. But on the other hand, I have a marketing agency, right, where we work with fitness coaches. We also work with other founders and build their personal brand, but a large portion of our clients right now is fitness coaches. And for example, we have 3 fitness coaches from Denmark. We have one guy that helps younger guys get in shape and build muscle focused. We have a middle-aged guy that usually helps middle-aged women, in particular with weight loss, and a more holistic audience. He has a lot of personality in his content, so he tracks a lot of different people in a good way. And then we have a younger woman who helps younger women get in shape, lose weight, or even train up for high rocks or a half marathon or whatever. So like we have 3 different fitness coaches in Denmark, but they all have 3 different demographics. And I would definitely say that in that agency, we act as growth partners. We take percentages of the business and we do everything. We take 30% of the business and 30% of profit, and we operate the entire thing. So there it makes sense that if I get another inquiry to work from a Danish fitness coach that helps exactly young men get in shape and build muscle in this same demographic, I would probably turn the client away and say, hey, we're already working with this guy, because our clients in the agency pay us on average $6,000 to $7,000 a month. So there we can reach the goals that we have for the business and financial engineer in other countries and other niches and other offers to reach the goals that we have individually in our business, right? So I think it's about looking at what you're selling, right? So like determining if it's more of like many clients, so like let's say 30 to 100 clients, or if it's like more intimate partner with like 0 to 10 clients. The correct question there for you watching this is probably how much demand do you have? Like I had a lot of demand in the coffee shop, with like because ultimately there will always be more people who can afford $1,500 a month consulting versus someone who wants to give up 30% of their business and pay on average 7 to even like some people pay 10 to 12 grand a month, right? So I would look at supply and demand there and then make the decision. And of course the market that you're selling in Denmark, in this particular example for my agency, is a very small country, right? Whereas if you ran the same exact agency in the US, no problem at all. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, people. Next on the agenda is business stats. So I fill out this sheet every single day inside of my business to show you the growth of my social channels and also the growth of my revenue. So we start with the daily updates channel. It's currently sitting on 671. Very good. And then we have my main YouTube channel, which is at 9,248. Then we have my main Instagram, which is at 26,472. And then we have my newsletter, which is at 1413. And then yesterday, the business didn't make any money, which is all good. Beautiful, that is how the numbers are looking. Great stuff. And then last but not least, we do some strategy. Today I'm building yesterday I was in Aarhus. I'm visiting and like the office that we have there with my agency, which was a really good day, and I did some content. Toby came from Copenhagen and we recorded a YouTube video. But overall, just like brainstormed on kind of like the next step of my content waterfall in my business in terms of like leveraging my YouTube videos and efforts there as the top priority, and then waterfalling all of the content down. So I'm pretty excited about building that out and gathering all of the data that we're doing now, because now we're kind of following the waterfall without having it really SOP'd and structured out. But I can already see the benefits from it. You know, like, I think my Instagram is growing incredibly healthy. As you can see, it's like around 0.3% every day, which is quite exponential, and an average of probably 80 followers a day, which is pretty good. Now I just want to see the pattern from IG growth to newsletter and clients and YouTube, and I want to pay attention to my average sales cycle. In terms of like, does it lengthen the average sales cycle, the fact that I do a little bit more broad content, or will the sales cycle stay the same? So I'm pretty interested there. And other than that, I can also see that we are growing how I want to whenever we upload 2 YouTube videos per week and we stay consistent with the quality. So I'm pretty excited about building the content waterfall out, and that's kind of like, that's how my mind is racing right now in terms of like leveraging while focusing on automating, systemizing, and leveraging content without losing the effort, because I love effort. I love putting a lot of craft into my main YouTube videos because I think effort is a luxury signal. It shows that you care, and I really do care about making great content that people can watch forever, right? Because that's the cool thing about creating content, is that it's content pieces and videos that will outlive you and run forever. So it's kind of like building an internet statue, right? It's like something people can always come back to. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. But other than that, I appreciate you watching the video, and yeah, we'll just see each other tomorrow.